All right, welcome everybody. Please go ahead and take your seats. If you're still getting your lunch, please grab your lunch and find a seat. Thank you all so much for being here. This is our spring general meeting. This is the last one of the year. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. I don't think anybody is excited as me on that one. Okay, we were just kidding. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed that slideshow that was put together by our Director of Communications and Marketing, Courtney Luke. So thank you, Courtney. Yay, Courtney. So as some of you may know, I'm Erica Leone. I am your staff assembly president this year. This is my last general meeting with you guys. So I'm super excited to be here. We have a huge turnout today, you guys. Thank you so much for all of you showing up. This is awesome. And also, yay, give yourselves a hand. And also we have a huge showing on Zoom. So we are super excited about that. So again, thanks everyone for joining us. And we are going to go ahead and start off with our land acknowledgement. And I'm going to read it for you. We at UCR would like to respectfully acknowledge and recognize our responsibility to the original and current caretakers of the land, water, and air, the Cahuilla, Tongva, Luiseño, and Serrano peoples, and all of their ancestors and descendants, past, present, and future. Today, this meeting place is home to many Indigenous peoples from all over the world, including UCR faculty, students, and amazing staff. And we are grateful to have the opportunity to live and work on these homelands. All right, well, before I go through all the upcoming events, I just wanted to say thank you guys again for coming. I know spring is crazy, right? Like everything happens during spring quarter. We got commencement, we got performance reviews. Where's Alex? Thanks for that, Alex. We love doing performance reviews right now. And also, any financial people in the house, fiscal close. Oh my gosh. I know how excited you guys are about that. And just so you know, we're all lighting a candle for all of you. We'll be thinking about you, thoughts and prayers. Okay? Yes. All right. With that, hang in there, you guys. Mental Health Awareness Month is this month. It's May. So make sure you guys take good care of yourselves, take breaks, do the stretching, do whatever you got to do to take care of yourselves because nothing is more important than your health. All right, so some of our upcoming events, I'm going to go kind of fast because we have a full packed agenda for you today. We have our upcoming Lunch and Learn on the 9th. Our topic is from the School of Business. They're going to be talking about getting your graduate degree with benefits specifically for staff. So that'll be 12 to 1 on the 9th. We will have our next staff pantry on May 17th, and that's going to be at the Pentland Hills Roundabout. So please join us. And that's 12:30 to 2:30 or until supplies last. And this will be our last pantry for this academic year, but we will get started again in the fall. So please come out. And if you'd like to volunteer, you'll see a slide a little bit later to sign up to volunteer. Our Outstanding Staff Award is going to be on awards, not award. There's more than one. That's going to happen on June 3rd. So please nominate your peers. Right now, the nomination period is open. You can go to the Staff Assembly website and look up Outstanding Staff Awards. We really want to recognize everyone out there that does tons of hard work. So please nominate your peers on that. We also have virtual bingo with Penny, who's in the back or the front. Yay, Penny. That's going to be on the 17th. That's virtual during lunch or in the evening. So please join us. Please register. And this year, because it's Mental Health Awareness Month and because spring is crazy, we are going to do a spring staff refresh event from Staff Assembly for you guys. And that's going to happen at the Barn Patio on May 23rd, which is a Thursday. So we're going to have fun. We're going to have games, wellness activities. We're going to have prizes and some treats for you guys. So if you can come out, please do, even if it's just for a little while, just take a break and join us. So we hope to see you there. And since this is my last general meeting as your president, I just wanted to say thank you so much to all of our volunteers that helped us out this year. We had so many. I see so many familiar faces in the crowd. You guys made such a difference for us, for all of our events. Thank you. And of course, thank you to our Staff Assembly Board. If we could give them a round of applause, you guys. Thank you, guys. They did so much work this year, especially thank goodness for Staff Week. If you were able to attend any of those events, our conference, our general meetings, everything that we do it for you guys. And they do it with a lot of heart. They have their full-time jobs too, and they work really hard and they still show up here with energy and enthusiasm. So thank you to them. And with that, I know I'm flying through this. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to our first presenter, Marisol Torres. She's going to tell us a little bit about the Okanagan Charter, and she is a health educator from the Well. So Marisol, hand it over to you.
Hi, everyone. That was a really great intro to what I'm going to talk about. We did the land acknowledgement. We talk about Mental Health Awareness Month, wellness. This all ties in. So before I get started more about the Okanagan Charter, raise your hand if you attended the Okanagan Charter celebration last week. I even saw somebody with yeah, there's that because we gave those out. Perfect. Um, so I wanted to talk a little bit more about what the Okanagan Charter is and how we're going to be implementing that at UCR. How many of you have heard of or were part of UCR's Healthy Campus a few years ago, perhaps? Yes, awesome. So basically, it's bringing back some of the amazing work of UCR Healthy Campus with a framework and a vision of the Okanagan Charter. So more about the Okanagan Charter as we were doing the land acknowledgement. So oftentimes I get asked, what's Okanagan? So Okanagan is comes from the Okanagan Nation, the Okanagan people in British Columbia, Canada. So when many campuses around the world got together to write this charter, they really wanted to acknowledge the land they were in. And a lot of the Okanagan Charter principles take on some of the principles of the Okanagan people, really looking at people, place, planet, and a holistic well-being. The charter actually is almost 10 years old, but in the last few years, it has gained a lot of momentum. And basically, what it is it's asking colleges and universities around the world to adopt health promoting principles and create a health culture in their campuses for everyone, for students, staff, faculty, our community, and even globally. There's two call to actions to the charter. So the first one is really what I just talked about, embedding health and well-being in our culture, looking at all aspects of our campus, our administration, our policies, whatever it might be, the way we operate. And the second one, as I mentioned, it's about moving it even further to our communities and our whole nation and our whole earth, really, and beyond. I'm going to skip that one, though I really want to know, but for sake of time. Um, so the Okanagan Charter really looks at a system-based approach. For example, oftentimes we hear, and I know I feel like that sometimes too, that staff are really stressed. There's a lot of different priorities happening, maybe within their office, they're feeling really rushed, feeling a bit stressed. So in an individual level approach, which is important and would we also provide, is thinking about doing workshops, perhaps on time management or stress management, all very important. And in addition, what the Okanagan Charter is saying is now let's also look at deeper things. What is causing the stress? What are some of the policies and procedures that we can do? So, for example, maybe for some, the stress might be there might be experiencing harassment in their workplace, right? So having some of these anti-harassment policies, for example, maybe they will benefit and could do alternative work schedules. Maybe it's about disability accommodations. So really thinking not just only the individual, but also what can the university do for all the individuals here. So what we did at UCR is we looked at the Okanagan Charter as the vision we have. Think about it as a vision that we have. It's not necessarily these concrete things, but it's more of like what we hope to accomplish and how we accomplish it. That's what we get to decide as a campus. So we took the Okanagan Charter and from there took out 5 pillars that we would be focusing on to make this happen. So you can see them here, but looking at campus policies and procedures, how can we change those to make them health promoting? Taking local and global action, providing personal development opportunities for staff, faculty, students, creating supportive environments on our campus, and also advancing research and knowledge in this area. Overall, what I really want you all to acknowledge and understand is that every single one of you in this room is doing well-being work. My office, we do health promotion for students. So obviously that's our job, that's a role, we do that every day. But even if you're not in a health promoting or a well-being role, you are doing it every day. And it might be through small things just coming here, for example. Some of you might be here to cheer on your colleagues for getting an award, right? That's all part of health promotion. So what we really want to do is make everybody, one, really take ownership of the work that they do, the amazing work they do on campus, and finding ways to elevate it. What I ask of you all, if any of you are interested, I'm happy to talk to you all more about it, take you all to coffee, whatever it is. But there are two things that you can do now if you're interested. One, if you're interested in joining an action group for Okanagan Charter, similar to the Healthy Campus committees we used to have, feel free to join. Submit this interest form here, and we're looking for people, again, from all areas. You don't necessarily have to have experience in what you think is health promotion. We just want representation there from everybody. And the second QR code is if you just want to get updated on what your amazing colleagues are doing on campus with the Okanagan Charter and promoting health, join our listserv, and we will make sure to keep you updated on opportunities and whatever we're doing and wonderful things that you all will be doing on our campus. I want to keep the 5-minute limit. I think I did it. I don't know, but thank you all. I'm happy to answer questions. If you all have any after, you can also reach out to me.
Thank you so much, Marisol. That was really great information. One thing I'm going to ask everyone, since we have such a huge turnout, which is amazing, if you have an empty seat, I know I love when they do this when I'm in the audience, but if you have an empty seat next to you, if you could just squeeze together so we can open up any empty seats on the end. So all those poor folks that are standing up in the back, they can have a seat if possible. We really appreciate it, you guys. There's a few seats in the front if you want to be super close. Feel free, take a minute. Thank you so much. There's, yeah, first 2 rows here, there are definitely some seats if anybody's brave enough to sit in the front. And while everybody's moving, I just wanted to say hi to all of our folks on Zoom. We realize that the chat is not working. That's my fault. I apologize, you guys. We will fix that next time. But thank you for joining us. It's working now. Oh, well, just kidding then. So great. And thank you to our amazing ITS team and Noah and his team in the back for streaming and for keeping us online. We really appreciate it. All right. So our next speaker, I'm going to go ahead and introduce is Holly Hare and Robert Stevens from our, I think I brought the surprise out, the Office of Civil Rights at UCR. So I'm going to invite both Holly and Robert to come on up.
Hi, everyone. So thank you so much for giving me some of this precious time. Thank you to Erica and her group for allowing us to come here and introduce ourselves. So my name is Holly Hare. I'm the Assistant Vice Chancellor for Civil Rights here, and I'm being joined by my Deputy Title IX Officer, Robert Stevens. And we're going to talk to you a little bit about some exciting developments we have with regard to civil rights on the UCR campus. So if the Office of Civil Rights doesn't sound familiar to you, that is because we were formerly called the Office of Equal Opportunity and Title IX. We, in light of the new anti-discrimination policy that came out, and in light of the new iterations of our Title IX policy that are coming out, we wanted to take some time and rethink about the name of our office, how we want to brand that, how we want to make sure the campus community is aware of the work that we do. So despite the name change, I want to be clear that the scope of the work that we do is largely going to remain the same. So we are responsible for compliance for all of the policies related to equality on campus. And we have 3 mechanisms by which we do that, that were interestingly just pointed at by Marisol. So thank you for that heads up on all of the system-wide related to that charter was me and my team. So we have 3 ways that we do that. First is the anti-discrimination policy. So that should sound familiar to everybody. That was our new system-wide policy that came out in February. This is a super, super exciting policy because it is the first time that all of the UC sister campuses are on the same page with regard to how to navigate complaints related to discrimination. So that's really exciting. Also, Title IX. So I would think that this group understands that Title IX refers to sex or gender discrimination. And under that umbrella, of course, also includes sexual orientation, gender transition status, anything at all related to the protected categories of sex or gender fall within Title IX policy. And on our campus and system-wide, our policy for Title IX is sexual violence and our sexual harassment policy. And last but not least, we are also responsible for affirmative action law compliance on our campus. And for those of you who aren't aware of what that means, broadly speaking, that just refers to us meeting goals with regard to representation in employment across gender and across race. That's my nutshell version of it. Okay, so we also have a lot of new staff in our office. I'm really excited about that because I don't think we've been this well staffed since I first started here in 2019. So this is excellent. We still, unfortunately, are the smallest staff in this office system-wide, but we're growing and we're trying to do good work and we're trying to change that to the best of our ability. So I have with me, again, Robert is helping serve in the Deputy Title IX role. We have an assistant director position that we're hoping to post in the near future. Many of you probably know Olga, who's in charge of affirmative action. And then we have a group of 3 complaint resolution officers who are our investigators, a response team coordinator, and our office manager, April. So I mentioned the anti-discrimination policy that came out in February. Just some highlights from that policy. It better defines discrimination and harassment. It expands the office jurisdiction to us for student complaints. So this is a big change on campus because prior to this, student conduct was responsible for dealing with discrimination and harassment when it was conduct that was done by a student respondent. So now that's being shifted over to our responsibility. This probably isn't that meaningful to this group, but it's making how we manage these complaints, it's more prescriptive. So we have more rules that we are going to have to follow on our end. And it's importantly sets deadlines for formal investigation. So that's new for these cases as well. So something I want to share with regard to the office name change, we put a lot of thought and energy into what we wanted our office to be called. And the reason that we settled on the Office of Civil Rights is because I think since the Obama administration and the original Dear Colleague letter related to Title IX in 2011, we've done such a good job nationwide at campuses and universities of saying what Title IX is, that everybody knows Title IX. Everybody says, okay, I know that I'm being harmed in some way. I think it's discrimination related. I'm going to reach out to Title IX. But the reality is Title IX is always discrimination, sex and gender discrimination. Discrimination is not always Title IX. And I think that's a misunderstanding, not just on this campus, but on every campus. People, it's like Title IX is like a buzzword. Oh, I'm going to call Title IX, but Title IX does not have anything to do with race discrimination, anything to do with religious discrimination, anything to do with disability discrimination, or any of the other protected categories outside of race or gender. So I think it's a good opportunity for us being an institution of learning to make sure the students leave here with a good understanding of what certain laws mean and what our responsibilities are as an institution related to civil rights, not just related to Title IX. Okay, so our new Title IX regulations. So we know the Fed put out new regulations a couple weeks ago. So our administrators at UCOP are frantically working right now to make sure that our system-wide sexual violence, sexual harassment policy is in line with those requirements because they go into effect August 1st. So we're going to have to get ready over the summer for our new launch of that. Some important things to know. This is not a change, but it gives us a framework that we use to respond to reports of sex misconduct. A lot of things are going to remain the same from the old policy, so it's not a complete overhaul. An important distinction between the new framework and the one that's currently in place is there's now no geographical limit with regard to how we pursue cases. For instance, under the current guidelines, if something were to take place regarding a member of our community, but it was not geographically on the UC Riverside campus, we were not obligated by federal law to respond to that. Now we did anyway, usually as an institutional decision, but now it is in the federal requirements that we have to respond, which I think is a good thing. It also expands upon reporting obligations. So this is going to majorly impact the group here, student employees, anybody that is in a working capacity at our institution. They are really, really cracking down on responsible employee reporting obligations. So I know there are a lot of mixed feelings about that. I think the thing that this group needs to keep in mind is basically anything that comes to your attention that could be discrimination, but specifically sex or gender discrimination, you need to protect yourself from liability as much as anything and reach out to our office to let us respond. Don't try to take matters into your own hands. I know that sometimes that can feel threatening because the person that's disclosing to you probably has a relationship with you where they identify with you based on your own identity. So it feels like a form of betrayal to report to our office, but know that that does not mean an instant investigation. That simply means you're putting us on notice and we are going to provide them support and resources. I'm not going to spend more time on that because we could probably do a whole hour just on that, but I did want to just plant that seed to let you know it's coming. Primarily, the obligation under Title IX has always been the same, that once the institution is put on notice, that we're responsible to respond promptly and effectively because we want to prevent the reoccurrence. That is what the law states, and that has remained the same throughout. This is also exciting. So the EEOC just expanded their guidelines with regard for pregnancy accommodations. And so this is going to be codified in the new policy for SVSH as well. And this is now inclusive of any kind of treatment related to pregnancy. So that could be the inclusion of abortion, childbirth, other related medical conditions, that could be infertility treatment. So we are now obligated to provide resources and accommodations for anybody getting any kind of treatment related to any medical condition, pregnancy, fertility related. I think that is wonderful and a long time coming. I think it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, particularly with our clinical setting. So our healthcare services, because it is not traditional for any institution of higher learning, particularly in a medical school capacity, to allow any kind of an accommodation for a pregnant student. So I think this is a huge change and an amazing one and an amazing opportunity for us to really make sure that we're providing everybody the tools that they need to be successful when they're expanding their families. And this is also going to relate to parental leave, but they're still carving out exactly what that means. But know that that's in discussion as well. And it also covers lactation and breastfeeding, which I think we do a pretty good job of on this campus, but. And then this is just to give you a little bit of an idea of what our report load looks like. I think it's probably about 30% higher now after the onslaught of case reports that we've gotten in the last 2 weeks. I think we've got like 50 reports in the last 2 weeks. But when we look at this, you'll see the major bulk of cases that we respond to are Title IX. So sexual violence, sexual harassment. We delineate here between hate and bias and discrimination. Obviously, there's considerable overlap there, but just for the purposes of this chart, this is what that looks like. Typically, I would categorize a case as hate and bias more so than discrimination if a respondent is unknown. So like if you have some kind of vandalism that's targeting a particular group on campus, but nobody knows who it was, that would be more likely to fall under hate and bias versus discrimination, where you have a person that you know to be responsible for that. And then I didn't mention that our Office of Civil Rights is situated under the Chief Compliance Office under the leadership of Kirsten Boyce, Associate Vice Chancellor Boyce. And she also oversees all the other types of compliance on campus, which is the abusive conduct policy that everybody is familiar with, and our whistleblower policy and our audit office. That's it. So this is our contact information. Rumor has it that we're going to be relocating, but for now we are in Sky Hall on the 3rd floor. You are welcome to reach out to us. I always say there's no wrong way to reach out to us. Email, call, walk in, however you want to reach out. And even if you have something, you know, I'm talking to a group of staff members. So a lot of times we'll get contacted by staff who want to know if they have to report something. We're always happy to walk you through that if something is confusing. So don't hesitate to reach out. And last but not least, I just wanted to put a verbal flyer out that due to all of the changes that we have going on with our office, we're going to be my office, with the help of my colleagues here in CARE, Rosanna and Nikki, we're going to be putting together a focus group over the summer to really try to make sure that we're optimizing communication to the community with regard to what the role of our office is. And we want input from everybody, from staff to faculty, students, graduate students. And I want to keep the group relatively small, like 10, maybe 15 people. But if you know somebody that's really, really interested in this mission that would really like a say, or you feel like they would be able to really represent what the desires of the community are with regard to marketing, definitely reach out to me because I would love to take nominations for that. But that's all. Thank you, everyone. And I hope everyone enjoys the remainder of the quarter and has a wonderful summer.
All right, thank you so much to Robert and Holly. And part of the reason why we wanted to get them in front of you is they're really cool people. They're very nice. They're easy to approach. I know Title IX, it's like intimidating, but no, they're great resources. We got another friend up here from compliance who probably talk to a little bit too much, but super nice. So if you guys, these are resources for you. If there's something going on and you need help or you need some guidance, that is a great office as well as Central HR. So we wanted to make sure that we share that information with you. We have one more quick speaker, and although I wish I could give her tons of time. We have Nikki Cote from our care office. Come on up, Nikki.
Hello, I'll make it really fast. So I'm from the care office. My name is Omonike Hutchinson. I go by Nikki. My pronouns are she and they. And the care office just wants to let our staff and faculty know that we are also here for y'all. Okay, and what that looks like is we are advocates who are certified in sexual assault, relationship violence advocacy, and available to staff and faculty who need confidential space to sort through emotions, resources, and options, right? And so that goes along with Title IX, that goes along with intimate partner violence, sexual assault, stalking, coercion, even consultation. Let's say you do have a staff or student or whoever that has Title IX issues, you all can come to CARE, have that conversation, see if it's reportable, and then we can have a support person go with you. Because like Holly just explained, it can be a lot of pressure to just navigate that on your own. So you don't have to navigate any of these issues on your own, which is why you have the care office for you. And some examples that we've helped staff in related to the care office is I've written staff letters to get out of releases for relationship violence, right? And so that's a resource also available to y'all and your family members as well. I've helped some staff navigate some issues with their children, right? Navigating any of these relationship violence issues and that are on this campus or off of the campus, we can still provide support and guidance for y'all as you navigate through this. So the care office just wanted to give y'all a little shout out to let you know that we're here. We're on the 3rd floor of the hub in room 381. And you have a service here, so you don't have to navigate anything on your own. And if you have a family member, you both don't have to navigate anything on your own. Those are my 5 minutes.
All right, that was our last speaker. Thank you guys for bearing with us, but we thought this was a lot of great resources that you need to have, and they will be posted on our website. If you need them, they are there. So with that, I will go ahead and introduce our Vice President of Staff Assembly, Melanie Romero.
Hey, everybody. You don't need to stare at my picture. First thing up, let's talk about next year. So it's been an honor and a pleasure serving behind Erica as our staff assembly president. And I just want to acknowledge her because she's amazing and she's one of the unsung heroes, I think, of our campus. So can we have a quick round of applause for Erica? Thank you. So I'd like to introduce our staff assembly board for next year. Not everybody is here, but if you see a name you recognize, feel free to give them a shout out. So I'm your incoming president, and then our vice president, president-elect will be Paige Mejia. Returning for, I think, her 10th year is Penny Ibina as our director of finance. Sarah Dillon will be giving us round 2 as our awesome director of professional development, year 2. Sierra Covarrubias will be our director of fundraising. Again, returning board members, we love it. Courtney Luke will also be returning as our director of marketing and communications. Vanessa Blaylock will be our new Director of Administration. Shout out Vanessa back over there, first year. Erica Edwards will be taking over as our Director of Outreach. Welcome, Erica. We will have 2 directors of events because that is a heavy lift job. So big kudos go to Kate Dorff and Brianna Ellico for taking on that role. Annalicia Garcia will be taking over as Director of Involvement and Recognition. And then we get Erica Leon one more time as immediate past president. So that is your 2024-2025 Staff Assembly Board. First up, Erica mentioned earlier, we have pantry coming up next week. We do have some volunteer positions available. So if you're interested, you can sign up here at the QR code. It's also linked on our event listing on Localist on events.ucr.edu. So if you don't really feel like snapping that code with your phone right now, you can also find it there later, or feel free to email one of us. Demetrius Patrick set up the link, but either Erica or I or Courtney can send the link to you if you don't have time to do that right now. But we definitely appreciate many hands make for light work, and it is critical to keep the pantry going that we are able to provide this support to the pantry folks who are behind the scenes keeping it all running. Next up, we have also next Friday, virtual bingo happening with Penny. So if you would like to register, I see you, Robert, you're always there with us, thank you. Penny and I co-host the bingo, so we would love to see you on there. Again, you can sign up on events.ucr.edu or use this QR code. If you don't have it, give us a shout out, we'll send it. And then last but not least, we also talked about the Outstanding Staff Award. So behind me, you'll see pictured last year's award winners. We would love to recognize more of you for your fabulous contributions to UCR. If you'd like to nominate a colleague or a friend, you can do so either at the website listed there, staffassembly.ucr.edu/outstanding-staff-awards, or just snap that QR code. If you can't find it, it's on the menu under awards. So last but not least, please, if you're not following us already, join us on social media. It's supposed to be a conversation. It's a dialogue. We like to hear from you. We love it when we see you reacting to your friends' pictures and posts and finding each other in the photo galleries. So we try and get those all uploaded as quickly as we can after every event because that's half the fun. So yes, we're on Facebook. We haven't changed out the icon for Twitter yet because, but our fastest growing platforms are Instagram and LinkedIn. So please join us in the conversation on any of those, as well as on YouTube, where we put all of the replays of our general meetings and other fun things like that. I didn't put it in here, but our YouTube channel also has the playlist from all of this year's conference presentations, except for the keynotes. Those are only available in the UCLC. So everything else is up on YouTube. So last but not least, before we get to our recognitions, is we want to hear from you about the events that we put on. If you have any great ideas, if you've heard of something cool that's going on at another UC or at another college that you would like to just kindly borrow and appropriate for our own, like new traditions, let us know. We hear great ideas all the time, but we're only a board of, about a dozen or so people. There's hundreds of you, thousands of you, and we want to welcome your input because if it sounds like fun to you, it'd probably be fun for everybody else. So give us your feedback there. You can either use the bit.ly link there or again, snap the QR code. So let's get to the fun stuff. First up, we want to recognize our retirees. So let's bring up Scotty Highlander for photos. And if you are one of our retirees being recognized today, please, anybody, as I call each group, come line up over here. So we have 2 retirees. I'm watching to see if people are here. First one is Marshall Holman. Marshall, are you here? Come on up. So after I give you your certificate, please come on over and get a picture with Scotty and Alex Najera, our Chief Human Resources Officer. Our next retiree is Eileen Montoya. Come on, Eileen. So again, big applause for Marshall and Eileen. Our next group is our 5 years. If you've been 5 years here at UCR, please come line up over here. We have a lot of folks here, but not a lot of folks present. So this is all of our 5 years. And then I'll be calling folks one by one. So go ahead and line up over this way. First name I have in the certificates list is Brittany Frazier. Oh. Lauren Hammond. Tamala Bow. Linda Shaw. It's so cool as you're seeing people walk up and you're like, I've seen your name and email. Now I know your face. Sandra Burrows. Kelly Jones. Thank you. Joaquin Tarango. It's probably Tarango. Sorry. Thank you. Maria Guzman Soto. Thank you. Marianne Person. Marianne brought the cheering squad. We love it. Thank you. Francis Mitalo. Saharat Nilad. Andrew Guerrero. Tim Hanem. Jennifer Hamilton. Jamie Lopez. We love it when you love them. Sherilyn Berry. Let's hear it for all of our 5-year recipients. Next up, we have our 10 years. If you're being acknowledged for 10 years of service at UCR, please join us over here. Afterwards, everybody stay for a group photo with Scotty, please. We would love to get all of these and get them up in the photo album. All right, my first name on the list for 10 years is Guadalupe Reese. Glenn Wild. Thank you. I don't know if I didn't have her certificate, but I can call her up. Okay. I also just heard we missed Jasmine Lopez. I did not have your certificate, but definitely please come join the group photo. Glenn Wild? Awesome. LaDonna Arderi. Ana Correa. Thank you. Felicia Mosiah. Felicia. Juanita Jackson. Oh my, Juanita's got a banner. I love it. Elliot Fong. Lorraine Cheng. Hernan Salazar. Thank you. Bradley Scalf. Jing Li. Elizabeth Klassen Thrush. One more round of applause for all of our tenure. Trying to keep them all straight and not mix up the groups and the stack of certificates. So 15 years, if you're celebrating 15-year milestones while they're taking the group photo for 10 years, yeah. Yeah, they're still taking the photos over here. So go ahead and start lining up on this side if you're being recognized for 15 years. And did I miss anybody who's celebrating 10 years? Just checking. We're doing kind of a new system rather than just calling every name on the slides. All right, so these are our 15-year honorees. All righty. Thank you, everybody. While we're waiting for such a strong turnout today, it's really wonderful to see everybody come out to celebrate your friends and colleagues. That's what makes it a great place to work. All right, let's go ahead with our 15 years of service, starting with Agam Patel. Agam, who is also our immediate past president. Thank you. Hong Nguyen. And Rick Donato. Congratulations to all of our 15-year honorees. Thank you. Their groups get smaller as the years get bigger. So on to our 20 years of service. If you've been here at UCR for 20 years, please come line up over here. First up, I have Alex Reese. Alex coming right down the middle. Congratulations, thank you. Sylvia Monroy. Linda Mate. $20 years, love it. You're welcome. Carla Santiago. Kimberly Wolf. Thank you, Carla. I love all the large crowds coming to celebrate. 20 years is a lot. So Sharice Underwood. And Jingwen Huang. Congratulations, all of you, for your 20 years of service. So again, we'll do a group photo, but if you are part of our group celebrating 25 years of service, 25 years, please join us over here. 25, a quarter of a century here at UCR. It's a long time to be a Highlander. It makes you feel old when you realize that the students are younger than you've been in years of service. You're like, oh my gosh. All right, 25 years. 25 years. Let's begin with Javier Ramirez. Michael Jameson. Sonia Torres. Yes. Congratulations. Julie Ann Zeno. Congratulations. Brenda Batt. Alicia Hernandez. Congratulations. Douglas Yanega. And Carmen Long. 25 years. Congratulations. Thank you. If you're celebrating 30 years of service, please join us on stage right. 30 years. It's another one where you're like, wow, I've been here older than some of the faculty. Quite an achievement, 30 years of service. So let's begin with John Allen. Come on up. Catherine Safkornich. Congratulations. Lawrence Whitaker. And Catalina Cocker. Thank you. Congratulations, Catalina. All righty. One more group photo. Again, groups get smaller as years get higher. Let's hear it for all of our 30-year honorees. For those of you who are attending on Zoom, you can still come get your certificates from us. We'll just coordinate that on email. But 35 years. 35 years. Let's see, if you've got 35 years of service, I only have one certificate, so you don't have to line up. Let's see, Marshall Holman. Although that's not the right thing. Somehow that ended up at the bottom, but Marshall, I have your correctly spelled certificate. So I don't have any 35-year certificates, but let's still have a round of applause for the folks who are on the screen. It's a long time. I think these are the folks who didn't see me, so come get your certificates after, but we also have our 40-year honorees, 40 years. So that's where Marshall Holman goes. They got mixed in the wrong pile. There we go. This one's spelled right. Yep. Do you think? Oh, yeah, we'll still fix the other one. All righty. Eileen. Let's hear it for Eileen and Marshall, 40 years of service. I apologize. Somehow those ended up on the top of my pile instead of in the 40 years. So 40 years of service for Marshall Holman and Eileen Montoya. Total years of service, 1,745 in the folks we're celebrating today. So one more round of applause for everybody. I still have certificates for Han Wen and Hernan Salazar, so we can put those back up at the table for you. Congratulations to all of our milestone recipients. And now I'll bring up Julie Salgado, Brianna Morales, and Sarah Dillon for our raffle prizes. Everybody get your red raffle tickets out for the opportunity to win. They're bringing the whole table. Hang on. Thank you everyone for joining us today. And I'll turn it over to Julie.
All right, we're gonna do this quick. I know we only have a few minutes. So if you don't answer right away, we're going to the next one, okay? Number 224. 224. 224, anyone? For a goodie bag? It's a citrus collection. No? Okay. 381. 381, all right. For a lead goodie bag. 196. Yeah. Yeah, right. And thanks to Schools First, if you are not a member, go see Schools First table. They gave us a Chipotle, $25 Chipotle gift card. Goes to 203. 203. Anybody? We'll get back to that one. Hold on. Okay, 203 is not here. 229. 229. The one with the 4 in it was 224. Is that you? No? Nobody? Okay. All right, next is a meal prep kit. You can open it up, see inside. Number 250. 250. Someone back there? All right. An Altura Credit Union goodie bag goes to number 274. 274. UCR Arts goodie bag goes to 382. 382. Anybody? Girl, okay, look at the very bottom. 167. 167. It's a coffee mug. Anybody? That's her? 167. All right. All right, some gift cards. We got a Starbucks, 2 Starbucks. You don't get both, get one, okay? Thank you. Number 387. 387. All right, and 385. I swear I'm mixing them up. I'm mixing them up. 385. Nobody, nobody. Okay. One of them. Let's see. The next one is 289. 289. All right. All right. Cheesecake Factory. Donated by Schools First. Thank you, Schools First. $25. 384. Sorry for the ones. I'm sorry. 384. No? Okay. Let's see. Look. 199. 199. Amazon gift card, $25. Goes to 318. 318. Anybody? Oh, right here. If you weren't at our Build-A-Bear event, we have 2 Build-A-Bears we're gonna raffle off. If you already did one and you don't want it, let us know. We'll pick another number, okay? Number 335. 335? No one wants it or they're not here? All right, how about 251? 251, Aaron, all right. Comes with a little t-shirt, a heart, the stuffing. And our last one for the day goes to 246. 246, all right. All right, everyone, thank you so much for coming out. We do have a couple more events for the rest of the year. I hope you see you there.